AR-15 pistol here with me today so that we can talk about the most recent ATF release. I have this pistol with me because I think it makes some points pretty clear. I built this pistol from the ground up, from parts. All of the parts on this have always been pistol parts for their entire life, and I constructed this to be the most pistoly pistol possible by ATF definition, not by modern understanding. There's a difference there. We'll talk about it. So I designed this build to be purely pistol. That means I designed this gun, like the thought process all along was to have a gun that would be very easily yielded single-handedly. I can do that. I can shoot this one-armed, extended out on the optic. I can shoot this single-handedly looking down the optic with a compressed retention position. Both doable, and the balance, the short barrel on this and the lightweight design of this is done to facilitate that use. I have gone with a shortened buffer tube, a featureless buffer tube, so that I can't put a stock or a brace on there, and even if I duct taped one on there, it's too short to actually work as you would. On purpose. I have a pistol grip on this, as in a more upright grip, not a forward canted grip that you see on most traditional stocked rifles. All of that facilitates single-hand use. Now, nobody shoots pistols single-handed anymore, and there's a reason for that. So all of these pistols that are out now, well, I'm going to go ahead and say Glock, SIG, Springfield with the XD series, Smith & Wesson with the M&P series. None of those guns are actually designed to be fired single-handedly. If you look on the grip, there's features for, there's a recessed area for your palm of your support hand to fit in there. If you look forward of or above the trigger guard, there's always a little tactile feature to place your support hand thumb so that you can get repeatable two-handed grip. They all have rails for accessories, and all of those accessories, the vast majority of those accessories are designed for a support hand activation. That's two-handed grip, guys. That is technically against the NFA definition of a pistol. This is more pistoly than those pistols, okay? I also mention that because if you think about when the brace issue, right? That's what we're getting at, and more. But ATF said braces were initially good to go, and then they said no. If you shoulder a brace, you're remanufacturing that gun to be an SBR. And even now, there's gray area. Like if you shoulder that brace, they could try you for purposely constructing that brace as a stock, and that would be an SBR. Think about this. When the ATF purchased the guns that it issues its field agents, all of those guns have those features to facilitate a two-hand grip. When the ATF purchased those guns, that was a no-no by the strict reading of their rules. When they trained those officers to use those pistols with a second hand on the gun, they had every one of those officers commit a felony in remanufacturing those pistols into AOWs or SBRs, however you want to look at it. So, interesting there. Now, we can all say that's a little silly, and everyone shoots all guns with two hands now, and that's the way it ought to be. If you have a second hand to put on the gun, put that hand on the gun. So, if you guys want to learn how to shoot the pistoliest pistol AR configuration as well as a stocked old school rifle variant, I can show you that. I can show you how to get on this gun and run it as fast, as precise as any of your stocked long rifles. So if you're interested in that, go to the website, check out the classes or just contact me if you don't see anything in your area and we can get something set up. Back to the ATF release. So, ATF came out just recently, so we've gone back and forth with the braces being good, and then they're not good, and then it's illegal if you reconstruct them, and then it's okay again, and then it's not good if you intended to use it as a stock the whole time. And now they're saying, nope, braces are stocks. That is what they have said. They said there's no difference between them, and we're going to give you some amount of time to register all of those braces. You're going to register the lowers that the brace is attached to. They'll give you some time to register all those lowers as SBRs. That makes them an NFA item, and importantly, NFA items are not protected under the Second Amendment. They are just allowances, okay? Just it's an important distinction there. They're going to have you put all of your guns up as NFA items. They're going to be so kind as to waive the $200 fee for the tax stamp, and then they're going to put every one of those guns on the National Registry, as all NFA items are. That sucks. It just does. Now, as their release determines right now, this gun is still in a gray area, but in the clear. It's still a pistol. This one specifically is still very much a pistol. If you do everything right, you have to act right. You have to shoot these like you shoot a two-handed pistol, like you should. No pretendy making a brace or stock, okay? It used to be, before SB Tactical and the braces came, everyone who I knew who owned an AR pistol was shouldering the buffer tube. That was always good. It was always good during the entire time that the ATF was saying, maybe you can shoulder the brace, maybe you can't. It was good until yesterday. Now, it is not good to shoulder that brace. That's a danger zone. So, it's not good to shoulder that buffer tube. It's a danger zone. So, other areas of concern in their release. So register everything, get on the NFA, National Registry, and a features list. This is even more concerning. They have, ATF has stated that they may present a list of features which they would deem as AOWs or rifle features or SBR features. Now, we don't know what we don't know, but if they're allowed to do this, there's nothing preventing them from saying that if you have this feature on any gun, it becomes a rifle. And therefore, if it is a short barrel, it must be an SBR. This means that if they say things like they did during the assault weapons ban in the Clinton era, it would very likely transform most competition guns, pistols, like Glocks, SIGs, Smith & Wessons. It would take a lot of those competition guns and make them AOWs or SBRs. Here's why. On that ban list, there's so features. They could say that anything that has a muzzle device, because they did before, anything that has a muzzle device, that's an assault weapon feature, or they could call it now a rifle feature. If your pistol has a muzzle device, which this does not, on purpose, anyone that has that is automatically a registerable NFA item. So your Glock with a flashlight on it, that could be considered an attachment, an accessory that is a rifle-only accessory. Optics, strong chance that that's going to be one of those things. And it could be, what we saw before was, it could be a combination of those. More than X amount of those features makes it an NFA item. It could be a secondary list on top of that, like any one of these features makes this an NFA item. I would expect to see both lists. I would expect to see a list of this is always an NFA item if there's one of them, and I would expect to see like you can have a brace and an optic and a sling, but if you add an extended control on top of that, now it's a scary NFA item. This is nothing short of a backdoor, greasy-ass way to get a national registry and to start removing the most popular firearms from Second Amendment applicability in the court system. It's all it is. Now, I am going to tell you, I don't usually say this. I don't think I've ever said this on any of my content. Go write your people. Number one, the only person in the world today that could turn this off like a light switch is President Trump. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you're a Trump fan, he has failed you already. He could have stopped this before it began. He has the power to fire every one of these people that are making these distinctions, and he hasn't. Under Trump, you have lost your bump stocks, you've had your braces reclassified, and now you look at having every rifle that you own potentially becoming an NFA item. Having to fill out paperwork every time you move, having to fill out paperwork every time you take a gun across state lines. You could have all of your pistols designated as that too. All of them, not AR pistols, I mean all of your pistols. This is his fault. Write him and let him know that he needs to undo that. Fire those people, make changes now. Secondary to that, in addition to that, you should write your representative. All of them. Let them know this isn't okay. This is an attack on your basic human right to self-defense. That's all I got for you guys. Obviously, you can see I'm a little miffed about this. As we know more, I'll let you know. This is all just idle speculation at the moment. Stay safe, keep training. Thanks.